poet and academician, Wolverhampton, England, United Kingdom. And she is an ex-lecturer and assistant professor from India who has taught in many reputed schools, colleges, and universities, including Kamala Nehru College and Lovely Professional University. She has also delivered a number of key lectures, including lectures on stress management and National Education Policy 2020. She has authored 2 books in English, and her translation work with the title Punjabi Classic and her children's work called Trisha's Lockdown Diary are available on Amazon. So I request the august audience to put their hands together and invite Santosh Ram as the next keynote speaker of this session. Thank you, ma'am.
A very frosty good morning all the way up from Wolverhampton to the people in my motherland. Namaste. It's always a pleasure to be a part of intellectual discussions like this. So thank you very much for the invitation, Dr. Sudhir, Dr. Raman, and Dr. Sanjay. I have been listening to the experts since yesterday about digital humanities and also known as humanities computing. It's a field of study, research, teaching, and invention concerned with the intersection of community and disciplines of humanities. Its core is text. It connects past, present, and the future, as it enables students to extend their study about the subjects of humanities like English, history, religious studies, art, philosophy, languages studies to digital culture. Humanities and digital connections may seem very hard to correlate, as humanity encourages us to think creatively, to reason about our existence, about being human, and ask questions about our world. Humanities develops informed and critical citizens in various ways. For example, yesterday, one professor of philosophy told us that philosophy means being wise and ethical. I have more details to add into his statement that it's not only philosophy, rather other subjects also deeply affect us. For example, music. Music affects our mind and body. History expands our view as humans and leaders. Literature makes life less boring and more impressive. Art allows us to be expressive and share ideas, whereas digital humanities, this word digital describes electronic technology that generates, stores, and preserves and processes data in terms of 2 states, positive and negative. Positive is expressed or represented by the number 1 and non-positive by the number 0. Thus, transmitted or sorted with digital technology is expressed as a string of 1s and 0s. This is how the justification to the very complicated definitions of digital humanities comes from the websites like Google or Wikipedia and the other encyclopedias, that they say digital humanities is a loosely defined field that encompasses the application of various computer-based tools and methods to traditional humanities disciplines. Digital humanities can be seen in every stream of life: Google Meet, Team, Google Classroom, YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. We can see how digital humanities tries to put people in a better position to understand the unknown of the difficult disciplines and topics. It's a community bridge or space where people from different backgrounds or disciplines come together to learn how to talk to each other and to effectively combine skills to conduct joint and interdisciplinary research, which is based on shared passion for research, creativity, new ways of working and values. There's a lot of heterogeneity in this field. It is an extension, not a replacement. It is multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary in approach. I do not dare to talk about the objects of research in digital humanities, which may be everything around us. What keeps us together as a family of digital humanities is that we may have different academic backgrounds from various disciplines and we are working with different materials. The way we are trying to do is new, but task is not new. How? Because the field began in 1940s and 50s when scholars imagined ways to use computers as research tools that could analyze large sets of linguistics data. It began with text encoding projects to sort, count, and word search large sets of text. Roberto Busa developed the first theory of digital humanities and is now, and is now known as the father of digital humanities. He was an Italian Jesuit priest and one of the pioneers in the uses of computers for linguistics and literary analysis. He created a computer-generated concordance. Concordance means list in an alphabetical order. So he generated concordance to Thomas Aquinas's writings known as the Index Thomistics. And the first example of punch card by him that can be seen on Google. And there are other major theorists like John Burrow, Hugh Craig, Nancy Ide, and first digital humanities journal on computer and the humanities. That was the first name, as I told, Computers and Humanities. That was established in 1966. Text encoding initiatives known as TEI. These standardized text encoding practices and tags in early 80s. Many projects in English discipline followed. Example, William Blake Archive in 1994. And it was in 2004 that the term digital humanities came into existence. It evolved from the term humanities computing, and in 2006, funding of digital humanities project started to present day. Let's have a look at some of the projects that are running across the world and in digital humanities. I'm going to start with the Oxford University. In Oxford University, we have 3 projects that is called Rossetti Archive, Jane Austen Manuscript Digital Edition, and then we have Global Shakespeare Performance Archive. In Boston University, we have a Women Writers Project of Northeast, and we have Emily Dickinson's Lexicon, which started in 2007. And that is a text encoding around Webster's dictionary, I think. And then we have Baldwin's Paris, which is geotagging, means concentrating on the geographical aspects. And there is one book of fortresses known as GIS 3D modeling. And very interestingly, we have 1000 Cut Journey. 1000 Cut Journey is about virtual reality. And it is a program on racism, and it shows how racism has taken place around the world, and it is on digital humanities. Then there is Walt Whitman Archive, which is all about images and sounds. There is one digital humanities project, which is running in University of Birmingham also. And there is Cascadia Chronicle. It is a literary magazine of geospatial poems, audios, maps, and images. And then in India, there is Tri-Continental Research Project, which is running on with the help of, with the financial support and expertise and the guidance of UK, USA, and India. And the project is Computer Gaming Across Cultures. And this is under the care of Dr. Divya Dyuti Roy, IIM Indore, who is co-founder of Digital Humanities Alliance of India, known as DHI. And then Vichitra is a project by Yadavpur University on works of Dr. Ravindranath Tagore. It is a deeply institutional project. And then we have Project Madurai, digital collection of ancient classics. It is an ad hoc project by like-minded people who came together with the motivation to do something. And then we have a 1947 Partition Archive, which started in George Washington. And one might be wondering, what is the theory of digital humanities? In India, we say Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, and that is what is the theory of digital humanities. Applied to humanities, theory is a record of attempts to understand aspects of ourselves that seem human. And working in digital humanities I'm really sorry. Working in digital humanities in modern era is extremely common. So you do not need any special skill to make a contribution or start a project. Interdisciplinary approach and collaboration are the keys. You should know what can be done. Let me quote an example of a female science teacher in America who had to stop with her teaching job due to childcare issues after the birth of her first baby. But she started making videos of her newborn and uploaded them on YouTube. YouTube, which in itself is only 20 years old. YouTube helped her make millions, and her son today is a brand name called Ryan's Toy Review, who makes 30 million in a year. That's why I say you should know what can be done, as it's not about the hard work. Rather, digital humanities asks for the smart work. And it's easy to collaborate with anybody in this world during doing their field's research or PhD, either from Cambridge, Oxford, or Jawaharlal Nehru University in India, does not matter where. And scope of digital humanities after the pandemic has widened even more. Digital libraries and distant learning, computational linguistics, study of languages, translation, history of translation or technology behind language translation on internet, all are playing an important role and are very helpful. Now, some technologies that are helpful and can be used in digital humanities, these are, it's technical, so not going to be very, very interesting, let me tell you. So these technologies are, number one, text encoding, also known as XML, and it is used for marking up of the language, means which word has what meaning, connotation, from which dictionary, and where has it been used in other books or around in the world. And then digitized images of primary sources, wherein we have drafts of poems, letters, journals, and we scan and represent them on a website. We have machine learning, artificial intelligence, geographic information system, known as GIS data, which creates map and 3D model of anything. And I already mentioned about virtual reality, 1000 Cut Journey, which is a program on racism. Virtual reality tells how people walk through these sites and what happens to them. And then we have web designing, visualizing software tools to represent how often is this word used, what is the correlation between this word and that word. And very interestingly, we have digital storytelling through video and audio, wherein the image of the text on one side and the audio on the other. And 3D modeling, 3D modeling software is there, and digital publishing on Amazon, that is also there. And one might be wondering what kind of softwares are used for all this. I'm only going to name them because these softwares, even if you're not very good at using all these, I would say everything is available on YouTube. Spare some time, sit in front of YouTube. Self-help is the best, and you can learn it. And then if you have the knowledge of these softwares, working on digital humanities is everybody's cup of tea, I would say. So these softwares are Tableau, Statista, Constellate, which is also known as Jupyter Notebooks. It is Orange Data Mining also, Voyant. And last, which is not a software, but still is very, very helpful, that is Notepad++. So these are the softwares. If you know how to work with them, you can start working with digital humanities. And there are innumerable jobs in digital humanities that are available around the world. And I think you don't even have to travel to the countries. You can work remotely from your home if you are a master of digital humanities. And these jobs are web designing, web programming, game study, data management, digital designing, digital curation, data science, and data analysis, etc., etc. The list is endless, and the jobs are there on Google. Everybody knows that. And when I was sent this invitation, I asked my colleagues what kind of books are there to study. All of them, they told me that there are no books. Let me tell you, there are books. And the titles of the books in itself tell how new the term is. And these books are Teaching Humanities Online, Digital Humanities in Practice, Understanding Digital Humanities, and along with the books, we have journals. The history of these journals goes back to 1940s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and they are in working position even today. So you can consult them, take guidance, send your papers, and I'll be reading out maybe 3-4 names of the journals as well, which might be helpful for the experts. And these, number one is e-journal, which is Postmodern Culture. And next one is First Specialized Journal in Digital Humanities, that is Computers and Humanities, which was debuted in 1966. And there is Computer Applications Quantitative Methods in Archaeology, known as CAA Association, and it was founded in 1973. The Association for Library and Linguistics Computer. Then we have last, the Association for Computers and Humanities, which were founded in 1977 and 1998, respectively. I'm coming to the debates in digital humanities. Obviously, the problems are everywhere. And the first problem which comes to my mind is accessibility for people with disability. If somebody cannot see, if he cannot hear, how is he or she going to make use of digital humanities, and how digital humanity is going to help them? That is what can be the issue. And then we all know that India is diverse, and we will have to make sure that how diversity, equity means fair chances for participation with full justice is there, and inclusion is there in digital humanities. So diversity, equity, and inclusion, that will also have to be taken care of. And then open access. Will we be asked to pay, or will there be open access for the teachers for the noble cause of education? And copyright issues. And for everything, we need a system. And for India, we need a system in written so that we may take guidance. But in digital humanities, there is no pedagogy, and it is missing right arrangement. That is a problem. And yesterday, one professor from Delhi, she mentioned it already. There might be a problem of hacking and cybercrime. And I'm adding into this also. That is, how are we going to manage cyber crashes? If anything that we upload and the website crashes, what's our backup? That's what we need to be very careful of. And even bigger an issue. For example, the picture of a terrorist that exists in our head is of a man that has a turban and beard. Now, unfortunately, there are lots of men with turban and beard. How is computer going to differentiate it in its coding? That is what we got to be very careful about the programming and all that. I have the list of further readings, but I'm not going to mention them. I'm sorry, because I'm in a rush. And I'm coming now to talk about digital humanities in India. Now, yesterday, Dr. Sudhir Narayan, he said that digital humanities is a hot cup of tea. I would say in India, it is not everybody's cup of tea. Why? Because people are working in digital humanities, but not self-identifying themselves as digital humanists. Individual projects exist, but not at national level. There is no space to have sustained conversation. And these are not my words. These are the words of Dr. Divyadruti Roy. He's a postgraduate from here and here from University of Kent. And he's the founder of DHAI, that is Digital Humanities Alliance of India, IIM Indore. He says that people in India are not aware of paradigms of digital humanities, and digital humanities is not a term of tactical convenience in India. And let me tell you that England Art Council has funded some projects in India. Now, the issue is those who are graduated from UK and have their PhDs from here are getting benefited from that financial help and support and are associated with those projects for the reason that they are in a better position to reach these authorities. And in India, there are only 11 or 12 members who are officially registered and have made an organization. They call it alliance, not association, because alliance is more academic. And another important point that I want to mention is that digital humanities cannot be bound in with English language in India only, even though it is an international language, because English departments have a colonial history. They were created to make a cadre of babus to serve the imperial interests around engineering and management. There are a lot of regional languages, hence English is and cannot be the only option in India for digital humanities. Now, I'm coming to digital humanities and teaching. And I've written some points from the teaching in UK. So you'll be having a little peek how digital humanities is doing wonders in teaching over here. I teach in 3 colleges, and I'm writing it all with my own experience from teaching of ESOL, teaching of GCSEs, and teaching as a trainee teacher as well. So teaching is changed. I'm linking it to India. I'm starting from my motherland. So teaching is changed drastically from what it was in the days of Gurukuls, where gurus used to keep their pupils with them in ashrams. So then came an era of textbooks and heavy sticks from the teachers. I mean, my generation, which carried heavy bags on their backs, did lots of homework, learned through rote cramming, passed exams, and were always very respectful and were massively scared of the teachers as they had all the power and the authority. But teaching in 21st century is changed. We walk in a classroom not to simply talk and use chalk. Our students are blessed with technology, iPad, Google, YouTube, WhatsApp, and whatnot. The list is endless. They know a lot in advance. That is what that has to be smart. When I say smart, it is capital S, capital M, capital A, capital R, and capital T. And I'm going to explain it. And this is how we teach here in England. And smart, S is for specific, means what's special about the teaching that students should come to class and students should learn. Then Measurable means whatever we have taught, how are we going to measure and check their understanding and the level and the extent, or where have they reached. Then achievable means how will we as teachers achieve our goals and objectives of the topic. Then smart, T, means time bound, means whatever we are going to teach, will that be accomplished within 30-40 minutes of the lecture, or even the micro teach, which is for 15 minutes. Hence, the responsibility as teachers is doubled up. But still, teachers are doing wonderful jobs here. The question is how? And that is what I want that my country should be copying and pasting, because we are talking about computers. So here, I'm starting with the primary schools. Our students in primary school, they walk in class not with bags or textbooks. They are not given homeworks. Everything is digital, teaching resources, texts, explanations, etc. There are TV channels like Baby TV, CBBS, BBC Teach, BBC Council, Twinkle.com, Banana.com, and endless other online websites that, and yet more to follow, which can be explored on Google, and that is from where the teachers get their resources. And the teacher's job is only to facilitate learning, giving more autonomy to the students and shape the tasks with the help of technology in a way that students can move from known to unknown, in a way that that students can move from known to unknown, and teaching is based on the models. And I'm going to quote only one model here, because I have recently taught on the basis of that. That is BARC. BARC, again in capitals, VARK, means V for visuals, A for audio, R for reading, and K for kinesthetic. So when there are visuals, audio, reading, and kinesthetic activities, learning is fun. And this is what is happening in primary schools. And I'm now taking you all to the colleges. Scheme of work is pre-planned, and there are three major theories of learning: Vygotsky's, behaviorism, and Bloomfield's. Our lesson plans are based on these theories of learning, keeping in mind the differentiation. Differentiation means how are we going to take care of the most intelligent one in the class, the average one in the class, and the one who needs extra support of the teacher. And we have to keep all that in mind while teaching. And this is what should be there in our teaching, our means our Indian teaching also. So learning is further supported by formative and summative assessments. This is a lot in India. Formative assessment is there, I know, questions, discussions, role play, and summative assessments are in bulk in India. And students have to write a lot of assignments. And then in classes, there are smart boards, projectors, LCDs, boards, mini board, flip chart, TV, audio, computers, and this is how a classroom is, whether it is primary, a college, GCSE, or wherever the teaching is taking place. Now, objective of teaching are also shown to students, because they are to be kept informed before the start of the session, before to inform, and after to check whether we achieved lesson aims or not. Feedback is online through Google Forms there and then. Self-assessment and critical reflection are the part. Constructive feedback helps our students grow. Same applies for the teachers here. They have peer observations, managers' observations, surprise observations, not to get them in any sort of trouble, but to improve in a very healthy, collaborative way. This is what we need to copy and paste in our educational system. In Punjabi also, I'm a Punjabi. In Punjabi, they say, "Je kuch changa hove, sikh lena chahida." So even if a student, and the changa is not just stopping here, In here, even if a student cannot come to class and has to be absent for some unforeseen circumstances or maybe the health reasons, he or she can attend her class through Google Classroom and Team. Teacher teaches the class and attends to the students online as well in a very convenient level and manner. Now the question is how? Audio device hangs just like our identity card hangs around our neck. And those audio devices are kept on the tables of the students as well, so that they can hear him and the one who is sitting at home can hear the students as well. And there is a device like iPad, which follows the teacher wherever the teacher moves. So teacher does not have to bother, but the device is taking and showing the classroom, the teacher, the board work, and everything to the student. And the only difference is he's not physically present, but he is there. He can talk, he can do the activities, and the teacher can attend to the student as well. Apart from this, we have Kahoot and we have Mentimeters to organize and plan and prepare the activities to engage and check students' learning progress. Even the libraries are digital. I'm sure all of you have heard of Canvas, where the list of all of the books and the journal are available. Even the list of bibliography and is available for making references for the research or assignments. Now, good thing about Canvas here is that it works in collaboration with all the universities. For example, if I am a student at University of Wolverhampton, but the book is available in University of Birmingham or somewhere else, I can have easy access being a student. There are no restrictions. And not only this, even in society, people work together. There is an archive in Black Country Museum. Black Country Museum is just 2 minutes from my home. It is known as Black Country because this is an industrial area, not now, but in 1940s, 50s, when Indians came here, it was black by the night with the smoke of the industries, and it was red by the morning with the smoke getting more intense. So that's why it is called as Black Country Museum. Now, why did I mention all this, a little history? Because they have a archive called Apna Heritage. Apna, because this place is all of Indians, and it is a collection, this archive, Apna Heritage, is a collection of pictures from Indian Asian families during 1970s and 1980s, representing how the conditions were during those days, and teaching is stretched from classroom into community-based projects like this. So students know that it is not the project, rather the process through which the learning takes place. And self-assessment and critical reflection is the key here at all stages. And people help each other to grow. And that's exactly what we want. Can we take our teaching out of our classes to our society and engage our people? Can we come up with such alluring, interesting, motivational projects where people share their stories, pictures, and contribute on voluntary basis as it represents their society, background, heritage, and proud moments which were built together years back or maybe at present and is going on. And we copy-paste the best of teaching and learning as explained in our educational system. Can we do that? What is happening?
Muted. Your voice is gone, ma'am.
Is it okay?
Yes, no.
What was the last point, sir? Can you please tell me where was I muted? If you
Approximately three sentence back.
Sorry, it's the paper, sir. I'm sorry. In my hand, the naughty one. Sorry. So Can we take our teaching out of our classes to our society and engage our people? Can we come up with such alluring, interesting, motivational projects where people share their stories, pictures, and contribute on voluntary basis as it represents their society, background, heritage, and proud moments that they built together? Can we have archives from Himachal, from Punjab, from Can we copy paste the best of teaching and learning as explained in the teaching system over in England? I'm leaving these questions for my experts of this conference. It is for them that they have to think about these questions and the problems that I have highlighted for the realm of digital humanities, and for my students, those who are listening.
You are gone again.
So I'm sorry. And for the teachers and my, I don't know, I think it is technical, maybe. I'm finishing though in 1 second. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. And for my students and fellow teachers, I am going to conclude in Punjabi, my mother tongue, ke chalde rahiye, chaldeyan vaat mukdi hai. Vaat means rasta. Vaat here.
Yeah.
चलते रहिए कि चलदियां वाट मुकदी है. वाट means rasta.
We
What
want to
is the
listen this time, so please, we are more curious to listen because today is Mother Language Day, Matribhasha Divas. So these words will, very, very precious for us.
Okay. So to my fellow teachers and my students for digital humanities, I would only like to say that chalde rahiye ke chaldeyan vaat mukdi hai. Vaat is rasta and vaat is a metaphor for the unknown, unexpected, unexplored, and the difficult here in the realm of digital humanities. Thank you for your time. Happy researching. Good luck and take care. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.
Thanks for being with us. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. चलते रहिए तो कम सारा हो जाता है. चलोगे नहीं तो कोई कम नहीं होता.
सही गल है.
हाँ, चलना जिंदगी है बादशाह.
Yes, that's it. चलते रहिए कि चलदियां वाट मुकदी है.
मुकदी है.
Thank you once again for giving us your valuable time and sharing your thoughts with us. And we think that it was very informative, and the August audiences mainly benefited out of your